Bartholomew originally denied even being at his house on November 3rd when his stepdaughter, Rebecca Park, came up missing. Once the detective told him that Rebecca's case was no longer a missing persons case, but a homicide case, and read Bradley his rights, Brad decided to talk. He said that he lied about being at the house because he's a registered sex offender, and the detective said something that was very true. Him being a registered sex offender is a totally different animal than a homicide case. Brad mentioned that his wife, Courtney, Rebecca's mother, kept what he called scalpels beside her nightstand in the bedroom, and that she would use these scalpels to drain her cellulite. Brad went on to say that Courtney was obsessed with having another baby, and when he was asked about this alleged baby who was in NICU, baby Ashton, he said that his wife had told him, Courtney, that she was adopting a baby, and Brad said, I don't see how she was going to adopt anybody's baby, considering that I'm a registered sex offender. According to Brad, Courtney had tried to take custody of Kimberly, Rebecca Park's sister, and Rebecca's children unsuccessfully. On November 3rd, 2025, he said that Rebecca was in his F-150 pickup truck with he and Courtney, and that Rebecca was sitting in the middle, and that Courtney stabbed Rebecca while in the pickup truck. So the attack began before Rebecca Park even entered her biological mother and stepfather's home. And because she was Brad, he acted as if he was afraid of Courtney. He said that she tried to stab him with scissors before he reported it to the police, but the case was dismissed, and that Courtney told him that if he said a word, that she would, quote, make his life living hell, unquote. Once inside of their home, Brad said that while she was still alive, while Rebecca Park was still breathing, that Courtney began to remove Rebecca's baby from her womb. According to the autopsy report, Rebecca had superficial cuts on her neck, and she had cuts on both forearms, and she was stabbed minimally 6 times in her back. And what of baby Park? Well, Bradley told the detective that the baby was born stillborn, and that Courtney tried to resuscitate him, tried to do CPR. In her confession, Courtney appeared to cry, to break down in tears, saying that she tried to save her grandbaby. I told the detective that while Courtney was burying Rebecca, that Rebecca was under a bunch of leaves that Courtney had placed on her, that baby Park was laying on a towel next to Brad. The question is, how did baby Park end up back at Courtney and Brad's house? You see, Rebecca Park was not allowed to even be buried with her child. Where Brad and Courtney's story actually coincide is that baby Park would eventually be placed in a blue cooler. When detectives asked Courtney where the baby was, she didn't even let the detective finish the question. She said the baby's in a blue cooler, Brad's lunch cooler, in the garage. Bradley told the detective that Courtney placed the stillborn baby in a trash bag, then placed the baby inside of the blue cooler in the garage, and later the baby was placed in a residential trash can. Even though Brad Bartholomew tries to remove himself from the physical act of murdering Rebecca and, in my opinion, baby Park, somebody had to hold Rebecca down. I believe that Brad was there for a reason. He was there as muscle. The one thing that I'll agree with Brad Bartholomew on is that his wife Courtney was obsessed with having another baby. In fact, when Rebecca thought she had gone into labor a couple of days before, he and Courtney went to the hospital, and he said Courtney told her, you better not give birth to this baby at no hospital. I guess Courtney wanted to be the one to deliver the baby. Anyway, Courtney Bartholomew may have been obsessed with having another baby, but she wasn't fit to raise a hellhound.